All right, y'all, welcome back to Hiller University. I am Black Angel, and we're going to be doing a class this time on sigils and symbols, okay? Now, we know in the world, there are symbols and sigils being represented for many, many different things, coming from different countries to schools to even people having their own sigils and symbols representing themselves. So today we're going to go over the differences between the two, and we're going to actually do some examples on how to use them and place them for different things like protection, how to do it for maybe cleansing, for love, for grounding, pain relief, like anything that pretty much you can think of, you can create, or you can look up a symbol or a sigil representing, okay? So before we get started, as always, we want to start with grounding, with commanding ourselves to be connected to the earth vortex, and then we are calling our divine support team. So at this time, calling your higher self to connect you to the earth vortex for grounding, Ashe. Okay, at this time, call on your divine support team for divine protection and guidance. And then we want to give them time to come in, feel their energy, feel their presence, Ashe. And don't forget to thank them for the time and energy they're going to be using during this course, during this class. Okay, so to get class started, we're gonna do just a little bit of a cleanse, and I'm going to use a symbol to do the cleanse with. I'm going to be using a symbol called Chokure, which is from Reiki 2. If you're a Reiki 2 practitioner, hopefully you're already using this symbol in your practice. Okay, so using the symbol, going across, down, and then 3 counterclockwise loops going towards the center. And I'm going to take this symbol and push it into the screen with the intentions that whoever is on the other end is able to receive it so they can be cleansed of any negative energy that may be attached to them, Ashe. So I want you to feel this symbol work on you, because we're going to go into symbols in a little bit and talk about how it worked. All right. So we're going to start with sigils, and then we're going to go into symbols. So a sigil, right? A sigil deals with something that's inscribed or painted, considered to have some sort of magical power. Now, when you look at a sigil and a symbol, they can both look the same or seem to be the same. In other words, a sigil itself is a symbol, but the main difference between the two is going to be a sigil typically deals with actually being inscribed into something or painted onto something, like there's a visual of that symbol, okay? And typically that sigil can be also looked at as a seal. So if you think about back in the day when they would write letters, they would place a seal at the bottom of the letter to solidify the contract, to seal the contract. Well, the same thing with sigils. Sigils work to seal whatever intentions it is within that particular symbol. I'm going to show you some examples in my background. Didn't mean to do that. I'm going to show you some examples in my background of what some sigils may look like. So what you will notice is that most sigils will come with some sort of seal around them. They're usually placed inside of a circle. So once the sigil is placed on the item or the clothing or the building or whatever it is, it's pretty much like a permanent, contract or a permanent intention behind the symbols that's inside of the ring. I was doing a mediumship reading on a Clubhouse the other day, and during the mediumship reading, the young lady's mother who passed had told me to tell her to amend the soul contract that her daughter had written before, but she said this time place a circle around it. And she said that circle was going to be to seal the contract so that contract is set in stone and it's also protected because it's sealed that way as well. So again, a sigil is a symbol. It's just has a more concrete foundation with it because, again, the circle around it means that it is sealed, okay? Again, when you're using sigils, you want to make sure you take these and place them on the items visually where you can actually see them for them to be its most effective, which means you won't want to use your mind to try to, send a sigil somewhere. You want to actually draw it on the item you want to use. So if you was using a sigil on a person, for example, for purification, you would maybe draw a stick figure representing the person, and then you want to actually draw that sigil over the person so that that symbol is sealed and protected to do exactly what it's supposed to do. So again, these are some examples of what some sigils look like. The beauty with sigils is that typically they are custom. They are very custom and specific to a person, place, or thing. So sigils are, or in my opinion, should be created by the practitioner. It's okay, yes, to use other people's sigils if you feel comfortable and feel safe to do so. But I feel like sigils have more power when you create your own. So let's do a quick demonstration, right? The symbol or the sigil I thought of during this example was purification. So I want you to take the pen and paper that you have, your note-taking materials, and I want you to draw a stick figure representing yourself. And then I want you to think of a sigil for you, whatever comes to your mind, that will represent purification. Now, keep in mind, look at these symbols in the background. When you look at them, they just look like a bunch of scribble. You want to make sure you write what comes to you because it's only going to have a meaning that you understand. This prevents other people from looking at your sigils and trying to use them when it's something that's only specific for you. So whatever squiggly lines, boxes, it doesn't matter what it is, whatever comes to you, that's what you draw over yourself, right? Meaning that when you draw the circle of the sigil, you want to make sure it goes around the entire stick figure. So it goes around all the way around you. And then draw whatever lines and boxes or whatever that comes to your mind's eye that will represent a sigil of purification. Now, this can be a temporary sigil just for the class, and you can always go back and do the sigil how you would like it to use permanently. All right, so let's take some time and let's try that. Remember, the stick figure represents yourself, and you can also put intentions of what part of you that you want purified. For example, you can say this purification symbol I'm going to use over me to cleanse my aura, or purify my aura, or my chakras, or my life force energy, whatever comes to your mind that you want to purify. Because we're doing this live, you're gonna want to make sure you feel it. Okay, hopefully you all are able to go ahead and draw your sigil. And I'm just taking a little bit of time to allow you all to feel the purification of whatever you intended to be purified at this time. You should be feeling the shift in energy within those spaces. Okay, so I'm going to ask if anyone is ready to come out the mic, and you don't have to tell us what your sigil looks like, but just to talk about what you felt, what you're experiencing about the sigil you just drew. Tell us where your intentions were set for purification, and then what did you actually feel?
I did mine. I was purifying my life force energy, my heart, and my mind's eye, and my chakras. Is what I did, and I'm feeling like with my mind's eye, I'm feeling around my third eye. It's kind of like a circle around. I feel like a circle on my forehead is what I feel, and I'm just feeling like the shifts in. I want to say like in my back and things like that is what I'm feeling currently. um, and a lot of tingling all over me. So that's what I'm feeling currently.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So you've done self-healing before on these areas, correct?
Yes, I have.
Do you feel a difference using a sigil than the other methods you may have used in the past?
It's more powerful and more intense.
Ashe. That's what I want to hear.
Concentrated is what I want to say as well. It's really concentrated. I want to say that one makes more sense. So, yeah.
Yes, definitely. Gives you a chance to kind of sit back and allow it to happen, right? Without using so much energy.
Absolutely. It's, energy, especially at this time of night, is like, it's very draining. So, yes, this is a lot. It's a lot easier. Thank you.
Ashe. You're welcome. Okay, someone else was getting ready to speak. Go ahead.
Oh, excuse me. I purify my lymphatic system, and I can feel warmth behind my ears, down my chest, and like the back of my tongue. It feels like tingly, like I can actually feel it, something happening. So thank you, and I will try this again because I have done energy work, but I haven't done it in the sigil in a circle like this. So this is cool. Thank you.
Ashe. That's interesting that you chose the lymphatic system because, for those who may have trouble with weight loss, cleansing the lymphatic system is definitely one of the ways that I use to assist people in weight loss, using energy to cleanse. So thank you for bringing that up. So if anybody else may need to, take that in and use it, that's a good thing to think about. Plus, also cleansing the lymphatic system will help with like any sickness, diseases, anybody catching the vid or any other type of viruses. It's good to cleanse your lymphatic system. Same thing with like the liver and the gallbladder and the gut itself will be a good thing to purify as well, especially when it comes to not just weight loss, but overall health. So again, thank you for sharing that example. The floor is open to anyone else who would like to share. Tell us what you felt, what your intentions was towards. The floor is open for you. Just one more person at least.
So I just feel like really, really cool energy. It's like a really cooling sensation, mixed with some tingles. And so like the way my sigil is drawn, like the way I drew things, it kind of makes it so where I can write words in certain spots. So I have quite a few things written down. Like I did my auras and energetic fields, my subconscious mind put that there. That popped in my head. I was like, okay. I wrote down my meridians and the nadis, and then my kundalini and my chakras. So that was mine.
Ashe. So did you write those words on the paper to just like, clarify your intentions, or did you actually write those inside the sigil?
They're inside the sigil.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. So writing them inside the sigil, right? That means every time you use that particular sigil, it'll do, those things. For those who might want to be doing something, just for the moment, you can write those words, for your sigil. You can write the intentions on the paper that you drew the stick figure, right? In the top left, right, bottom left, right, doesn't matter. Somewhere in the corner, you can write, I want this sigil to, purify these parts of me. And then once you draw the sigil around you and on top of you, on top of the stick figure, it'll do based on those intentions because it's all on the same sheet of paper. So it'll do the same intentions. So I just want to bring that up just in case, like, we can have different ways to do it. It'll have the same result. Just so when you're doing this for someone else, you may have their name on the top sheet of the paper, have a stick figure or whatever, how you want to draw it, and then place whatever you want this particular sigil to work for, and then draw the sigil over the top of them. Or you can also do like the young lady here and place the intentions inside of the sigil. It's up to you, but it'll work either way. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all who was able to share. So now again, when it comes to using sigils, right? We felt the example of what it feels like on our personal, body and our personal energies when using it, and we felt the strength of those sigils as well. Now think about this. Now let's say you took that same purification symbol and you drew like a box or like a little house, like we used to draw in elementary school, and then you drew that same purification symbol over your home to purify your home of any, negative energies and just any energies that are not, healthy for the home. You could do the same thing for that. Or maybe you want to take this purification sigil and you want to draw it over, your refrigerator to purify your food that's in the refrigerator, so that, when you eat your food, any contaminants or any toxic energies will be already removed and released. Now, when it comes to the food itself, that I would recommend more so of using a symbol, which is what we're going to go into, because I don't know if actually taking a pencil or pen and drawing a sigil on your food would be good to do, right? So in those cases, we use a symbol. So let's go into symbols at this time, okay? Let's go into symbols. Okay, so a symbol is going to be something that is used to represent an object or a function or a process. It's going to represent the action of something, if that makes sense. It represents the action. So while the sigil represents most of the time a person or a place, and can represent an action because it is technically a symbol, the symbols itself represents pretty much anything that deals with the action, okay? Now, when I talked about the sigil, I talked about how the sigil is drawn. The symbols can be drawn as well. However, when we go to the Greek etymology of the word, it means to throw, which means a symbol can be sent somewhere. It can be sent through the mind's eye. It can be sent through the hand. It can be drawn in the air and used, meaning that we can actually take this symbolic energy and we can place it where we want it, even when it comes to a distance. So let's look at some examples of some symbols that's going to be placed right behind me. I'm going to pull this up. Now, what you will notice is with most symbols, the symbols are not going to be encased inside of a circle. Because again, symbols are more fluid than a sigil. A symbol, again, is like, you can look at it as a moving action, right? Like this symbol can be placed somewhere, but it can shift along with the item as need be. So these are just some examples of what some sigils look like, or some symbols look like. Now, let's go to your pen and paper. We're going to draw this time another stick figure, right? But this time we're going to use symbols instead of sigils. Now, the symbol I want you to think of is one associated with protection. Associated with protection. And again, use your mind's eye, or if you are Reiki 2, certified, or if you have a protection symbol within your culture, you can also use that as well. And we're going to draw the stick figure with the intentions of divine protection. Divine protection meaning that the protection goes where you need it for your highest good, right? We can say protection, but if we don't say any specifics in that protection, then sometimes there can be some gaps left open. But if we say divine protection, then the divine knows exactly where that protection is needed. Now, once you come up with that symbol, we're going to take that symbol and we're going to place it above the head. We're going to place it below the feet. We're going to place it on the right and left side. We're going to place one symbol in the front of the body. And then we're going to draw another one with intentions of that symbol being placed behind the body. So you just kind of have to use your imagination to know that that symbol is behind you and one is in front of you. Now, once those symbols are in place, again, this is for divine protection, whatever symbols you decide to use or create. And once you place it in the 6 places around the body, above, below, left, right, front, and back, then we're going to feel the energy shifting within us. Or should I say the energy shifting around us, which means that the divine protection symbols are going to push away anything that may be trying to cause any harm towards you. Okay, so the next symbol is going to be a symbol of love. We're going to all do this one together, which is going to be a heart. And you can modify this heart however you feel comfortable with. But basically, we're going to take the symbol of a heart with representing love, love energy, and we're going to draw it around our stick figure. We're going to draw it around our stick figure. And you can draw it around the stick figure itself, or you can draw it all the way out outside of the symbols that you drew around the stick figure as well, and encase the entire picture inside of the heart, however you feel. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it that way. That way my energetic fields also receive this love energy just as well as my body. So I'm drawing a heart with the intentions of love energy. And again, this is a symbol of love. So that means all the energies around me and the energies within me will be filled with love, because that's the symbol that I'm placing. Now you can also create a stronger method of this by doing it into a sigil, right? But usually symbols are used, as far as practitioner work goes, symbols are usually used, for the moment, where the sigils will be more permanent. Now, the beauty of using symbols, as I said, that the Greek word means to throw, is that you have the ability to take sigils or symbols, symbols, and so-called beam them to people, places, things, situations. So just like we practice with the house, with the purification sigil, we want to use the heart symbol. We want to take the heart symbol and we want to imagine our home. Imagine what your home looks like from the outside of your home. And again, we're going to so-called throw this symbol to the home so that the love symbol can fill the home and the area around the home with that love energy. So the way you simply do it is using your imagination. You can even use your fingers like I'm doing, and you just place the heart around your home. And once you have completed that symbol around the home, then allow yourself to feel the energy inside of your home as that love energy starts to shift it. Sometimes with love energy, it feels just like divine light energy, this very light and cooling sensation of energy. Sometimes even feeling some vibrations and some tingling around you because the energies are shifting. So let's take a moment and allow that to happen. And we're going to throw another symbol in another way for demonstration purposes as well. Okay, hopefully you all are feeling those shifts happening. Okay, so now we want to use a symbol, either one that you already know or one that you can create with the intentions of cleansing, right? Cleansing negative energy, malevolent energy, any type of bad energy, what you consider bad energy. So take a moment and think of or write down or create a symbol associated with cleansing. And we're going to do this demonstration on our personal body and our home as well. And again, we're using these symbols to push. We're going to be using symbols to push inside of something or someone, which is going to be ourselves, to show you how when you take a symbol and push it inside of the person, place, or thing, how it works from the inside out. So with sigils, right, we usually place it permanently on that structure. Where in this case, like I said, with a symbol, it's more fluid. We can move it around as we see fit. So once you have your cleansing symbol, for me, I'm going to use Choku Rei, the Reiki 2 symbol, with the intentions of cleansing. And I'm going to picture myself, right? I'm going to imagine my own body. And I'm going to take that Choku Rei symbol and picture it right in front of me. And then I'm going to take that symbol and push it into my body using my mind's eye. And then you should be able to feel the symbol into the body. And then the symbol will start to cleanse you from the inside out. So the difference I'm wanting to show you is that there's a different feeling when you place a symbol over something or someone versus when you place a symbol into something or someone. When you place it into, it's going to go all the way to the core and do whatever the intentions are from the inside out. So same thing, taking that cleansing symbol, picturing your home, imagine yourself standing in front of your home and taking that cleansing symbol and drawing it right in front of the house and pushing the symbol into the home with the intentions of pushing it to the center of your home from the outside. You're pushing that symbol all the way to the middle of the home. And then once you push that symbol into your home, you should start to feel the energy shifting around you as that symbol starts to cleanse your home from the inside out. Now, let's say that you may have trouble using your visuals, right, in your mind's eye. You may be having some trouble, maybe block at the moment. You can do the same thing on paper as long as you have the intentions of pushing the symbol in. So if I wanted to push the symbol into myself, I would simply draw my little stick figure, draw the symbol over the paper or over the stick figure, And then just imagine me pushing that symbol deeper into the body, right? Even placing your hand over it, or just placing your hand over the paper and then pushing downward with the intentions of pushing it into the body. Same thing with the home. You draw your little stick figure home, draw the symbol, and then push the symbol into the home with the paper, right? So that can help save a little bit of energy that you may have to use trying to visualize. And you can also do it on paper to do the same thing to make it a little easier for you. Now, when it comes to symbols and sigils, just remember your imagination. You can create any type of sigil or symbol for any type of intention, even to for like pain relief. Maybe you have some pain that you can't get rid of in a certain area of the body and you're not sure where it's coming from. You can create a symbol to release pain, push that symbol into that part of the body where the pain is, and then that symbol can go to the root, pull the root of the pain out, and then of course heal the pain itself. And then later on, or maybe even during the process, your higher self may show you exactly where the root of that pain was coming from. And if not, you'll be presented later, like maybe in a dream or in a vision while you're cooking or cleaning, or even through someone else, maybe a word you hear that you may hear it louder than the other words that letting you know that's what it was. So before we keep going, I would like for you all to, at least 3 people to come off the mic, one at a time, and let's talk about what you felt and how easy or hard was this for you? Like, was this simple? Was it easy for you to do? Which method did you like better? Did you come up with anything else while you were doing it? Go ahead and come off your mic. The floor is open.
At first, I thought it was easy, but it wasn't. Trying to concentrate. So drawing it on the paper is a lot more easier for me because I'm a visual person. And I thought I was a visual person in my mind's eye, but clearly I need a sigil on my mind's eyes to help me focus more. So yeah, I did feel the cooling sensation too.
One thing I love that you said is that when you realized you were having a little bit of trouble in the mind's eye, you said, I'm going to make a sigil for focus. So you already are starting to be more creative and allowing your higher self to show you what you can do to even help you to use sigils and symbols. That's pretty dope. Thank you for sharing that. I'm a more of a visual person too, so I like to draw most of the time as well. Okay, anybody else?
When I was doing it, I felt it was a little bit different than the other one. I guess since we were pushing it inside, so feeling it from the core, it was more like really intense, kind of like whenever we were kind of doing the Kundalini work, it was kind of that intense, I guess, from the inside out to the core type of feeling. It was so weird. It was, I actually liked it, but it was really, really intense. So kind of, yeah, really intense. So is that normal?
Yeah, very normal. And again, it depends on how you place the symbol, right? So if you draw the symbol just right over you, it'll still do the same thing. It'll be a little bit more subtle, and it may take a little longer for it to do its job, right? When you push it in, it grabs from the core and it just goes straight out. So it does become a little bit more intense because of that. So with that being said, right, you can use it how you see fit for certain situations. I'll give you an example. There are some symbols that are good to amplify other symbols. For example, Chokure amplifies other symbols that you use with it. But if I'm using, let's say, Seiheki, which is an emotional healing symbol, but it can also be used for balance in the organs. When I use it in the brain, because it's very good for the brain, I don't use it with an amplification symbol because I know that's going to be a little bit too intense, right? And nobody wants their brain feeling all kind of crazy at that moment. So I just use it by itself and I just let it kind of do its thing and not try to put any extra intentions in it. So what I'm saying is basically The more you practice with the symbols and the sigils and feeling their power, feel how they feel when they're deep inside versus when they're kind of on the surface, then you can start to kind of play around a little bit and know when you're working on yourself or somebody else how you want to use it, because you don't want to cause like additional pain, right? When you're trying to heal somebody, even though sometimes a little bit of pain gonna come with it.
It felt like the sandwich where you did the chokri and the sayaki and the symbol. It felt like the same. It was that intense. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
I didn't even mean it to be like that, but that's the way that it felt like. It felt like a sandwich. I was like, what did I do? So,
Right.
but it was amazing though. It was really good, but I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Right, thank you. So when we get to practice with sandwich method, then you already know how intense it can be, for sure. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else?
I actually had like a headache as you were explaining how to do it. Like it was like right here. And then as I thought of it with the draw I wanted to draw, I and pushed it. It like I felt it from right here go out. And then I was like, it was cool, when I pushed it in
Did it get rid of your headache?
instantly. Like as soon as I drew it and then imagined it, it is gone.
I say, look at that. See how quick these symbols work when you have those. Everything is about intentions, right? Everything is about intentions. So as long as you have the intentions behind your symbol, it'll work. It'll work really well, And like I say, the beauty with symbols is that you can use more than one. You can take them and you can place them around areas. You can place them around people or things. You can create them. You can create symbols however you want them to look, especially when it comes to being discreet. Same thing when it comes to sigils as well. And the beauty about sigils that I didn't mention that I would like to mention now is, tattoos can be a good representation of a sigil because it's a permanent seal once you tattoo, right? So there's people who I met that have tattooed both symbols and sigils on their body so that they have that permanent protection or that permanent divine guidance. So for me, I have a symbol of an ankh with the eye of Horus. So the ankh will be the symbol of life, which means to bring life, right? But the ankh symbol can also be used as a portal for divine knowledge. And then I have the eye of Horus, which also represents divine knowledge or divine sight, should I say. And I purposely put it on my right hand. So when I touch something with my right hand, I can gather information based on the symbols or the sigils that I have permanently tattooed on my arm. So it was strategic why I placed this particular tattoo in this place. So when you think of tattoos, if that's something that you're into or any type of markings, consider the intentions and the placement and what you wanted to permanently do at all times. So I just want to throw that out there for anybody who may, maybe consider getting a new tattoo. Or maybe you already have one and you're not sure why you got it, and now you kind of know why you got it. Because your spirit was saying, hey, put this on you so that it can do this job for you at all times. Ashe? Now, symbols can be stacked, or sometimes we call them sandwiched, meaning that you can have one symbol and another symbol and another symbol, and you can take all three of those symbols and place them right into a person, place, or thing. So if I took Chokuray, which is the power of the universe here, and I took a symbol of say ki, which means an emotional healing symbol, but it also brings balance. So I can then say I want to use this particular symbol to bring balance versus emotional healing. And then I took another symbol, Chokuray, right behind it. So I have two Chokuray symbols with Seiki in the middle, and I'm using the power of the universe on both sides of the symbol with the main symbol in the middle of what my intentions are going to be. So if I wanted to bring a cleanse, let's say my cell phone collects a lot of energy from the people I might associate with, social media platforms, text messages. Your cell phone actually holds energy, right? And sometimes your cell phone can start operating a little funky because the energy is out of whack and it's messing with the electronics inside of it. So in those cases, what I do, my cell phone starts to act up, which I have to get the eye Horus on there too boom. I started doing with my cell phone when it acts up is I take the check ray and I push it inside of the phone to say, hey, key, and I push it inside of the phone and another choke array, boom, inside of the phone. And then I sit it down and let it do its job. And sometimes I can actually feel the shifting in energy on the cell phone as it's being cleansed. I have used the same method when it came to my computer, when it's come to my sewing machine, any electronics I've ever had that starts to act up, I use those symbols because not only can those symbols be used on people, places, things, situations, they also can be used in electronics, and they have worked wonders. There was a young lady on an app where streaming app, and we got on the app and she was trying to get her computer up, and she was like, I'm sorry, y'all, give me some time. My computer is acting crazy. It won't pull the picture up, just a black screen. And I asked her, I said, is it okay if I push some symbols into your computer to, help it work? And she said, sure. So I did choke array, say hey key, choke array. And literally 30 seconds later, boom, screen pops on. So it's the beauty of symbols. You can take them and you can push them into different people, places, and things, even at a distance. Ashe? So what are some ways that you can consider using your sigils and your symbols on? One way to use them could be on your home. Let's say you want to actually draw sigils or symbols on the four corners on the outside of the home for protection, creating a protection grid with your sigils. That's a pretty good way to use symbols and sigils, okay? You can place them on your electronics, right? So on my computer, I have a symbols of the eye of Horus and the eye of Ra and the Ankh, so that when I'm using my computer, it can be used for, divine knowledge, divine guidance. Like this is a piece of material I'm using to help people. And when I use it, it's giving me the knowledge that I need to give the information when I'm teaching or when I'm doing readings or healings, right? So you can place them also, of course, on your person through tattoos, through tribal markings, or any temporary markings, temporary tattoos, whatever you want to use to draw the particular symbol, a sigil. One way to use a symbol is underneath the doormat before somebody walks in your house. Maybe underneath the doormat, you want to have a cleansing and protection symbol. So before somebody enters the home, if there's something negatively attached to them, that the symbol or the sigil will knock it off of them before they walk in the house. That's a great way to protect your entrance to your home. Placing symbols and sigils on mirrors. Maybe you want to place a symbol of love or a symbol of high self-esteem or healthy self-esteem. Maybe you want to place a symbol of confidence on the mirror, so that when you go and actually look into the mirror, you're fed with the energy of confidence so that you can start your day on a high note versus on a low note, if that's an issue you may deal with. One thing about a symbol and a sigil is that I like to look at them as portals, like individual portals that constantly push the energy of the intentions through it. So if I'm at my mirror and I have a symbol of unconditional love drew on the mirror, that means when I stand in front of the mirror, that portal, that symbol portal is going to continuously push unconditional love into me. And as I look at myself, I connect with myself through the mirror, and I'm also connecting with that symbol at the same time and just being filled and being absorbing of that unconditional love. So that means you can also place symbols on items. There are times where I see people place symbols on crystals, for example. I had a pyramid crystal with the Reiki symbols all the way over it. And when I would place this pyramid crystal over me when I'm laying down, I can feel all four of the Reiki symbols working all at one time. Or if I took that pyramid and placed it underneath my chair, it would do the same thing. I can feel those energies being pushed up through my kundalini, through my entire body. Another way to use symbols is using them on your children and your pets. right? Children typically pick up on a lot of energy, especially from school and hanging out with their friends. They pick up a lot of energy. And so they come home and they start complaining about their leg hurts, or they're feeling some type of way and they don't know why. You know, take your purification symbol to cleanse their energies, to purify their energies, or take your cleansing symbol to cleanse their energies, whatever you see fit when it comes to purifying, cleansing their energies, right? And then you'll notice, just like the young lady explained, when she pushed a symbol into herself, her headache went away. You can also do the same thing for your children and your pets. Because sometimes our pets be acting crazy. They need some symbols pushed into them to calm them down. So create a calming symbol, right? Sometimes you can have a universal symbol that you use for whatever intentions you place behind it. Maybe it's a symbol that, look, anytime I use this symbol, it's only going to be used for whatever I say at that moment. So I might have a house full of kids, they be spending the night and they do all that cackling, and I'm like, all y'all going to sleep. And I push that calming effect into those kids so they can calm down, right? And then next thing you know, 30 minutes later, they out. Now, some people might say that's messed up. Oh well. Sometimes I don't want to hear all that cackling all night. They gotta go to sleep. But overall, what I'm saying is that be creative, you know, think outside the box when you use your symbols. You can place protection symbol on boxes, you know, or something that you want protected. Maybe you have like a jewelry box and you want to place a protection symbol over the jewelry box with the intentions of preventing anyone from touching or stealing your jewelry out of that box. They won't even touch it, can't get close to it. Placing your symbols on your journals, okay? I have symbols on my journals so that nobody, don't look at that's my book. Don't you touch it. So these are things that you can, again, use your symbols for. You can place symbols into a situation or a relationship or a connection. You can place symbols into an idea or a business. So anything that you want to use symbols for, you can do it, and just use your intuition on how you want to do it. You know, if you're doing into a business, sometimes you may just want to use a dollar sign to represent the US dollar, and some arrows being drawn towards the dollar sign to represent income, money, income, right? Maybe that's, you know, so again, think outside the box. Think outside of the box and continue to practice with the symbols. Use them when you're doing your candle work. Sometimes I will take a white piece of paper and I'll draw symbols on it, and then I'll tape it around the candle, you know, the glass candle. And that way, as the candle burns, those symbols are also activated with it as well. See? Or you can take a piece of paper, draw some symbols on it, and you can place an incense holder on top and burn an incense and let the intentions of the symbols happen as long as the incense are being burned. See? So again, hopefully this class simplified how to use sigils and symbols. And again, be creative, try to create your own, and know that when you create your own, they have a lot of power because you created it, right? And then practice using them. Practice using them. And in the next class, before class start, we'll talk about it a little bit to see how using the symbols and sigils work. And hopefully you all can feel very confident in being able to use these in your everyday life all the time. Are there any questions or comments or additions before we close our class? The floor is open.
I do have a question.
Okay.
So you know how you spoke about the tattoos, like being intentional with a tattoo that you're going to get on you.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you already have a tattoo? Can you then like program the tattoo to work as a sigil or symbol?
Absolutely. Thinking outside the box, using what you already have. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a tribal tattoo on this arm that I've never given any intentions And now that you say that, I might need to go back and revisit this tattoo and see what intentions I want to give to it. It's just a tribal tattoo that I thought was cool, you know. But now that you say it, yeah, I'm gonna go back and give it some intentions. It is a pretty big tattoo, so I mean that's a pretty big portal that I can use for whatever intentions that may be good for it. So absolutely, yeah, you can. You know, same thing is like with names. You know, place a name on your body of a person. That's a portal between you and the other person. That person's energy is always attached to you. So in those cases, you would have to pretty much um, you pretty much have to cancel or clear the intentions of the name so that you don't constantly be fed that person's energy. But yeah, you can do that. And you can even change the intentions of tattoos or symbols that you already have. So let's say you got a tattoo with one intention, but now you want to use it for something else. You can also do that as well. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, anyone else? Any questions, comments?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Can you use to amplify it like a cellulite wand? You know, like a crystal wand?
Uh-huh.
Do your symbol, would it give it more effect?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm glad you said that. So when it comes to using crystals and stones behind your symbol, not only does it draw the symbol, but it also gives the energy of the crystal and symbol behind it. So if you took a piece of selenite and you drew a symbol, right? And then you push that symbol into whatever you're trying to do, the symbol is going to do what it's designed to do, but you're also going to feel the selenite energy with it as well. So if I was using a symbol to do cleansing, right, or purification, because selenite is also a purification stone or crystal, then I would simply draw with selenite with those intentions. And then not only is the symbol going to do it, now you have the crystal power behind it doing it as well. Yes, thank you so much for bringing that up. Let's see what
So you
crystals
can do
I
it
have.
like any crystal then, like whatever crystal has that power, instead of just
Absolutely.
using that one, you just use something else for the intentions to be better.
Absolutely. So let's say you was doing healing on a certain part of the body, and there's a certain crystal that's good for that particular part of the body. Then you draw your symbol with that crystal because you're going to get, double healing because you're going to get it from the symbol and the crystal. So like this is a selenite crystal, right? And we know selenite crystals are good for what? The skin is good for the muscles, also very, very good for the nervous system and the brain. So if I wanted to use this crystal with the healing symbol, then that symbol plus the selenite energy, which also removes blockages in the physical body, which is perfect why you want to use selenite for the body. So it would do both. So here's an example. I'm going to draw this healing symbol using the selenite. Okay, if you ever draw a symbol and you realize you drew it wrong, what I do, I just imagine myself erasing it and starting over. Okay, so again, this is a healing symbol.
You sure?
And it's going to go to whoever needs it, right? For healing in the physical body, for whoever needs it, right? I'm just going to throw it out there. Now, when you're using the wand, same way, instead of like using my hands to push it, I just use the wand to kind of throw it into the space that I want it. Okay, so again, for healing into the physical body, for whoever needs it, for the highest good, and you're going to feel tingling based on the symbol, and you're going to feel also the energy of the selenite starting to flow through the body wherever you need it.
Ooh, my back feels better. Thank you.
You felt that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it feels really, really good when you use crystals behind your symbols. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of times when I do mass cleanses, like if I'm cleansing like hundreds of people, I'll use my staff and I'll do the same thing. And what I'll do is I'll take the symbol and I'll tap my finger with the intentions of placing the symbols on the wand itself, on the staff. And I'll say, okay, we're going to do Chokuray, and we're going to do Seiki, and let's also do Daikomiyo, which means balance to the higher self. So now I place those intentions into the wand, and I know when I tap my wand on the ground, these intentions will be sent out, right? But guess what? It's going to be sent out with selenite. It's going to be sent out with copper. This is raw copper before it turns, that rose gold color. Tiger's eye and black tourmaline and Himalayan salt and citrine and rose, all these different crystals, right? They're going to go wherever it's needed to whoever needs it for the highest good, Ashe. Feeling that? So now you're getting the benefit of the symbols and all the crystals that are placed on this staff, plus the wood, because wood also has properties, right? Wood comes from trees, and trees have properties to heal, to cleanse, to rejuvenate, to restore, to align chakras. Trees have a lot of properties. So even the wood energy in this staff also helps as well. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because that really changes the game on how you can use your symbols. So even if you're using on your home, right? You stand in front of your home and you draw a cleansing symbol with the selenite or some sort of purification crystal like black tourmaline, and you do that, same effect. Now you got selenite energy with that symbol throughout the entire home. And it feels really good when you use it. And it saves you energy because you're using something else to power it. Does that answer your question, though?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Wusa. Can I use Wusa?
You can. You sure can.
Okay.
Anyone else got anything for us before we go?
I just wanted to add one last thing.
Sure.
So for anybody that has like trouble visualizing with their mind's eye, something that I like to do with, like, I have like a little selenite wand that kind of has like a point at the end, and I literally draw like the symbols on my body. So like if I want to do like the grounding symbol, I would use the Reiki symbol, Raku, and I draw like the little lightning bolt. I usually do it right on my forearms. I don't know why, that's just the location. And I do it on both of my forearms, and I use that as my way of grounding myself. So that's like an alternative too. Instead of visualizing it, you can also draw the symbols, because it's also pushing it into the body that way too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're saying you just take it and you just.
Yep, with the intentions of me being grounded, and I just sit there and I breathe and just let it do what it do.
Oh yeah, that felt good. I felt that felt pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. So I even have this tattoo here, right? I got this tattoo with the intentions of, it was doing a semicolon movement, and it was about keeping the heart going, like, suicide awareness, depression. And one of the things I noticed about this tattoo is that when I'm getting ready to fall into a depression, I start to feel this tattoo itch. It starts to itch. And it lets me know to catch myself. So again, it's a portal in itself, So yeah, just thought that was pretty dope to share. Okay, well, this will end the class, and I'm going to stop the recording, and I will see y'all in the next one. Ashe.